on topic. I'm Jordan. I'll be your host for the majority of these podcasts now, moving forward on the Wednesdays. On Fridays, we'll try to move off topic a little bit more. Keep it fun for you guys. Anyway, today I'm joined by Kat. Kat's one of our players on the Wednesday sessions. And we've also got Blake in the background who's doing some stuff on the computers. Bit of a catch-up on what we've been up to so far. Basically, we've been doing a revamp of the entire studio, mixing with what works with table setups, test sessions to see what subclasses we like, what classes we want to play in general for the campaigns, and seeing how microphone levels work, how lighting scenarios, everything. And guys, it's looking pretty good. What do you reckon, Kat?
Yeah, it's good now.
You liking it? It feels a little better?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So that's what we've been doing for the last couple of months. We've recently also been trying to advertise more on YouTube, on TikTok. Are we live on YouTube now as well?
Not yet.
Not yet. So I think we're going to try and move forward with live YouTube. We'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. But we're going to stay on this channel anyway for now, and keep it all updated. Kat, what's been happening?
In life?
No.
I'm getting an iron infusion on Friday.
Mad. Okay. What about with D&D? What's been happening? What have you been up to in the past couple of weeks?
We're playtesting.
Playtesting. Okay, so
Classes.
it's up to you if you want to share what you've been doing, or do you want to keep it a secret for the actual gameplay?
No, I don't mind sharing.
Okay, well, why don't you tell the people what you started off as and where you've moved and sort of what helped you land where you are now
I wanted to be a bard.
from the start?
Yeah,
Cool.
pretty much from the start. Well, I tried to see Blake if I could play a doll character, and he was like, "Nope, that's
Oh, what,
weird."
sorry?
We couldn't make it work. I wanted to be like a living doll, like a mechanical thing. But you know how you have like your construct,
Yeah,
like to be
but as a character.
yeah, kind of thing. I don't know enough
Okay.
to make it work, so
Okay.
it couldn't work. So I was like, "Bard it is," and then just trying out subclasses, and I went for the wrong subclass straight away.
Well, what subclass did you try? Why didn't it work?
Eloquent.
An Eloquence Bard?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So what didn't you like about playing the Eloquence Bard?
Basically, because a lot of our like playtesting is not a lot of story, and Eloquent is like very charisma based. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I could be talking out of my ass.
No, you're right.
And then, because it just wasn't working, and it wasn't helpful as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I guess in our playtest sessions too, we've been doing a lot of combat-focused playtests. So I guess it would make sense that the talking bard wouldn't really do well in a combat scenario.
I did try and see if I could talk them out of fighting us, but apparently they were just too angry.
Okay, fair enough. All right, fair enough. Okay, and so what did you move on to after the Eloquence Bard?
Creation. I did look
Creation.
at it the first time I saw it,
Yeah.
and then I saw Eloquence, and I was like, and I try and pick something that makes sense to the character,
Yeah.
something that's closer related. And in Creation, because her name's Starlight, there was a little star. There's like your moat can look like anything, and there was a star, and I'm like, that's good.
Okay.
But then I saw Eloquent, and it kind of, I felt like it would fit her better because she's like supposed to be a performer.
Okay, right.
But yeah, and then it doesn't fit her that well.
So the creation just does more for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we play with quite a couple of books, like, legal in our campaigns.
Yeah.
So what book does the creation bard come from?
Both the subclasses I
Yep.
tried come from Tash's.
Okay, so as someone that hasn't played that subclass before, can you give me like a real basic rundown of like what the creation bard does and what's different to other sort of bard classes you've tried? Because it was a really cool thing with the inspiration die you were like showing us in the combat we tested earlier. So like,
Well, I've only looked at like the level 3,
like
so I haven't
stuff?
looked
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
I did look ahead for this other one, but then Jacob was like, focus on what you can do now, not
Yeah.
what you can do later
Okay, yeah.
as instead. So I've done that, and I've focused on, and at level 3, your inspiration, so much better.
What?
Alright, so attack rolls.
Yeah.
Oh my god, let me remember. Because it's attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks.
Okay. Do you want to get a book out? Do you want to read it and just make sure you get it right?
I want to quiz myself.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
Alright, ability check.
Yeah.
It's basically the bardic is like almost advantage. Like you can roll it twice, pick your highest.
Oh, to add to the roll. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And then for the attack, when you hit a target, if there's another creature within 5 foot, they kind of get this blowback. I think it's like Thunder Wave, but it's only... So they have to do it, I think it's a Constitution.
Yeah.
Or Wisdom. It's a saving throw, and whatever they rolled on the Bardic die, that's the amount of damage.
Right, okay. So, and how far does that go for?
Just any creature within 5 foot of the target you hit.
Okay, cool.
So if it's like surrounded, you could hit like 4.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the last one, the saving throw.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much it is, but it does give you temporary hit points if you save.
If you successfully save.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so it actually just gives you a little more flexibility with your bardic inspiration as well.
Yeah.
So when you're giving it to other people, they sort of get like extra effect. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Okay.
That's
All right.
pretty helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. And so one thing I've really noticed as well with these text combats you've been doing is you've been using a lot more intentional spells. You're not throwing stuff out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. So, for example, we had a test session earlier today, and we had a pylon platform with a bridge that sort of like was a floodgate for everyone else to go up the stairs to fight the people on top. And you casted
Cloud of Daggers?
Cloud of Daggers. Yeah, and that sort of really, really helped in weakening all of the targets coming up to the top level. So that was actually a really, really cool spell. Whereas a couple of weeks prior, you cast something like Crown of Madness,
Yes.
but there was nothing next to it to attack. Yeah.
Crown of Madness is a melee attack spell, and I casted it on a ranged character.
Yeah.
So it became... The only thing it did for me was it couldn't hit me.
Yeah, okay. Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, but it's cool seeing you play these casters and seeing the progression week by week, where you're making a more conscious effort of the spells you're casting to affect an area. It's really, really cool to see.
That week, I had like no point at all.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well,
anything through.
Okay,
that week.
Okay. So I guess it shows that moving forward, you've got to sort of think about what you're going to do a step ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because have you played casters before this?
I played, my longest one was Arcane Trickstar, so that's
like a mini caster, yeah. That was more of a blink turbo sort of hero. Okay.
And a lot of attack.
Yeah.
I want to try and, I want to do damage, but I also want to try and figure out how I can like help as well.
Okay, cool. All right.
Be a bit supportive.
Yeah, no, I mean, you did a lot of help throughout the last couple of sessions too. It's been really, really cool to see. Okay, awesome.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh, awesome. Sorry, guys. The phone's on the table. Okay.
It states...
It is in the books. It's in
his question was, he's got a table setup question.
trying to find this question here.
Yes.
You got a table setup question. Oh, yeah, so you haven't actually posted the question yet. Okay, sorry guys. I thought you meant you had it, and then I was looking for the actual question itself. So you've got a race, Grungs. They had their own standalone book called The Last Grung, homebrew campaign for space. So is that so? But D&D in space is Spelljammer, right?
There's also, what's it called? Something in Lasers. Oh, I watched bloody Oxventure do it.
I know nothing about D&D in space. Jacob's really the one that goes off topic with these sort of topics, man, because I have no idea what we're talking about. I kind of literally just stick to 5e and don't really move away from it much. But yeah, if you've got your question about the table, please let us know. Because we've done quite a couple of setups in the room now. We're changing a lot of the ways for the layouts. And we finally found a position that we really like for the table as well. There's been a couple of updates as well for the battle maps. I don't really want to go too far into it because I want you guys to see it when we actually start streaming again for the campaigns. But it does look really, really cool.
Oh, they called it lasers and feelings.
Lasers and feelings.
I
Okay,
don't
fair
think
enough.
that's what it's supposed to be called. It's something
Okay.
in lasers. But
Okay.
they called it lasers and feelings.
Right.
But that was a really, like... I forget how it worked, to be honest. They had really
Okay,
cool
I was going to ask
classes.
you about it, but okay, if you don't know.
I
that's
think
all
one
right.
of the characters was like half robot, so she
Yeah.
could do a lot of like cheeky stuff. I don't think that anyone was a frog. So
Okay.
I don't think that helps you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, well, we've talked about your testing so far for the next campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I've personally been messing with an artificer.
Mm-hmm.
I've wanted to play the class for quite a while. We just haven't had it in the campaigns.
I've noticed in the last couple of yours, you keep going for external pets or things.
Yeah, it's kind of like action economy, and getting free extra attacks and movements is kind of good.
That makes sense.
I'm just toying with different things. So I've tried the Steel Defender now twice as the subclass of the Artificer, and I really think I like it. He doesn't sort of force you into certain roles on the field. I kind of like to think of myself when there is combat as like a combat medic. So I can get myself out onto the field. I can use the Steel Defender to sort of maybe like hold the line against a group of enemies.
Yeah.
And sort of take a bunch of attacks. Or have it next to one of our opponents and sort of help mitigate the damage they're going to take, because it can pose a disadvantage on the attacks against people near it.
Yeah.
But I also get like a couple of little healing spells, nothing crazy. But it means that I can get into the middle of the fight, find the people that are down, help them up. I kind of like to keep a ranged weapon with me now. I'm improving. I'm learning. Like I have ranged weapons, and I like to sort of like attack from the back and keep the defender in the middle of the fight. Which is probably why I'm taking a lot of like these like companion subclasses, because it means that I don't just stand in the back and just sit there bored doing the same thing over and over again. Because I have the extra turn that's in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I could do both.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you got some.
Here it is. Okay, setup question. I have a campaign that mostly takes place in combat. I liked Blake's tiles and the idea of tiles, but I need a lot of them and needs to be portal enough to take them places. So a lot of the new tiles that Blake has made, are they on the YouTube channel yet?
Are we talking about your new...
Just the setup tiles.
I haven't really made new ones.
Okay, the how to build on the channel yet? We're going to double check that, because we have made a couple of how to build sessions on the YouTube channels. So we'll check if they're on there, but Blake's going to jump into a microphone now.
So I think the question is he likes the tiles that are already built.
Yeah.
I have shown a tutorial on how to do it with just styrofoam. If you do it with XPS installation foam, you will come up with the same grade that I have. But I think what he's talking about is something more nimble and something you could take with you much further. There is something else that I've recently just made that the players are currently using tonight and other things, but it all depends on how you want your tiles to be. More or less, do you want them to be super modular?
Do you want to have access to like stairs, elevation platforms, that sort of thing as well? Do you want to add bridges and other thematic?
You should get metallic paint because it's in space.
If it's that one that's in space, yeah, for sure. In terms of carrying them around,
There is a way to do it. So what you need to do is grab a more or less like a camera style bag, and the tiles should be able to slot into those quite simply. But another idea that I toyed with is simple as print off paper and laminate it. That way you can print off 4x4 grids and start laminating them. Use a yoga mat style as your place mat, more or less, to hold everything in place. And
okay, cool.
use that.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
that way not only can you draw the things on them, but you can actually create different layouts and whatnot from them.
That's cool as well. Okay, there you go. So you guys, I don't know much about DMing and pairing maps myself. I'm more of a player. But that's why we have Blake on the mics too, because he can help answer those questions.
Correct. Do you Do you plan on? Yeah, is it planned on being 2D or 3D? Is the biggest question. Alrighty, Blue.
Anyway, while you write that up, I'll keep talking. Yeah, so I was flirting with the idea of this combat medic in the middle of battle that can still sort of do some cool things outside of combat. Like you, sort of taking more of a support role in the middle of the fights.
Yeah.
I tried the armorer subclass as well.
Yeah. That gave you a higher shield, didn't it?
It gave me a higher AC because it gives you the ability to wear like plate armor and heavy armor.
Yeah.
But it kind of really just didn't do much for me. Looking at the damage itself was okay at early levels, but it doesn't increase as you get like higher levels.
Oh, okay.
So you sort of just plateau in terms of damage. You can tank things like a boss, but that's really it.
How many subclasses for Artificer do we have?
4.
In what books?
Tasha. So the whole class came in Tasha's called.
Okay. That came with 4 subclasses.
4 subclasses. So we've got the armorer, which basically makes you Iron Man.
Yeah.
We've got there's the the name of the one I'm using now. I just said it before.
You did.
Anyway, that's you basically could create a construct that goes into battle with you. It's okay. We've got the artillerist, which means you basically make little tiny eldritch cannons, and they can come with you into combat. So you can make them like a flamethrower or like a force push type of damage.
Cannons that float around? Or
Mini cannons. They actually
run?
walk. They walk around.
And
so
how
you
many?
can. It scales up as you get stronger.
Okay.
But you can either keep them in your hand as like a hand pistol, like a hand cannon,
Yeah.
or you can put them on the ground in fixed points and they can do things as well.
Cool.
And then there's also another one which is basically all about like potion making and alchemy. It's okay. It's not amazing. I guess thematically it could be fun, but not really what I'm looking to do. So I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm just going to call it a combat medic because I keep forgetting the name of the subclass. I'm just going to keep playing that. I think at the moment it's really quite a fun class. It's quite flexible with outside of combat scenarios and also in combat scenarios, which is sort of what I'm looking for. Blue has a reply. Very modular. I noticed 4-inch tiles are best suited for this campaign, ideally 3D, able to build up and scaffold levels and make a dollhouse.
Okay.
That's cool.
A quick way you could do it, alrighty, is one way you could do it is by measuring on cardboard. And I'm not talking about cardstock, I'm talking about cardboard. Then you can spray paint the cardboard into the way you want it, and then draw your lines after the spray paint's obviously dried. And then what you can do is use PVA glue to harden it and seal it, or you can use Mod Podge. It will work quite fine as well because it comes up clear. So that way they don't just bend and break, and it'll make them quite thin. Another thing you can do with like the stairs and stuff is you can start to make modular stairs through that by a layering system in terms of how tall they should be. Right, so you go, 15 foot at the bottom, then 10 foot one layer up, then 5 foot one layer up. So there is actually a leveling going up. And then for freestanding ones, what you can actually do is grab some bull clips. They usually put on paper because they have a flat surface that you can insert the walls for.
Okay, awesome.
If you wanted to do it cheap and if you want to make a crap ton of them, that's one of the best ways to do it. And you can also, they can be super modular because the tiles I use are very modular, but they are quite thick. They're half an inch thick. So you've got to, if you want to move them around, it's probably better getting something like that. And also you can put them inside a case and they'll be quite secure, or a box that you can take around with you.
Is that a video idea for later?
It might be a cheap one.
Yeah. How to budget?
How to budget, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
Because styrofoam, funny enough, is from Spotlight like $7.
Isn't there already a couple of videos on the YouTube?
Yeah, so I used polystyrene, which is normal styrofoam, to show, which I just got from Spotlight, which you can get from $2 shops, but you gotta find it.
Yeah.
I showed how to make pillars, stairs, and basic tiles. The newest one is using paint canvases to actually do a grid. That one only went up about 3 weeks ago. When it comes to other things, yeah, it's just more or less browsing. It's not for the fact that the been done before. They have been done to death, but it's more or less doing it for an Australian audience because a lot of it is American and UK, which they have different building materials than we do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
That would be one of them.
But
So
yeah,
maybe that's an idea, Blue. Check out the YouTube channel. Have a
Yeah.
look at what's being used and how it's being made.
And if you use like the canvas, it's got that like indent there, so you could like pop things in there, put a piece of something on top, elastic band.
Yeah, and
It's
stacking the stuff that you make extra also just helps in making that big like dollhouse feel, like the big modular walls and everything. So that might be an idea too. Sorry, guys, we're going back to on topic. We're an on topic Wednesday night. Yeah, so that's sort of where I wanted to go moving forward. I wanted to stay with that one subclass. Blake, how are you going with the testing so far? Are you enjoying everything that you've seen?
He killed us.
I just did murder you. The first person I put down was Kat. That felt great.
Well,
No,
I
didn't
was
mean
I
that purpose.
was the only one who didn't go down
You
the other one. So
yeah.
well, I
Well-
did go down, but I got back.
Well, it was just because you were actually the closest person to where I was always spawning, which is the biggest rock.
Sure.
But anyway, so the testing has been quite good. It's been quite healthy actually, because the games are not going to be run well last time, were they, Jordan?
Yeah, no, they're not.
What?
Well, in terms of the split sessions, now it's actually a real Wednesday versus Friday. Because now, you two are the only people left from the original Wednesday group.
Well, we're going to mention it later. Yeah.
Go on about it.
So we've had a bit of a shake up with the groups. We wanted to try something different, see what works and what doesn't work.
No.
They don't know. Yes. So Rob and Arthur, Mr. We Kill Guards, will now be going to the Friday session. So is Josh. Josh is another player who's joined us recently while we've been testing and playing in
He
the...
was there for the last of it.
He was there for the last of it?
When you got captured.
Beautiful. So he's now moving over to the Friday session as well. And then we have Mr. Off-Topic Jacob himself. We also have Maddie and Evan coming over to the Wednesday sessions with us.
Evan was the other podcast host.
Oh, really? There you go. So he might come on for a couple of sessions on the Wednesday. He might create a bit of chaos too. So we'll get him in as well. He had to leave a little bit earlier tonight. That's fine. But in terms of setting up the podcast, in terms of setting up the campaign and everything's going really well.
What's the biggest surprise?
Well, I can remember which one.
Well, the one where between me and your brother.
So we're in different worlds, guys, on Wednesdays and Fridays. Jacob, Mr. Off-Topic himself, is actually DMing the Friday sessions, which means that Blake is officially going to be coming in on Friday as a player. There's something really cool that we haven't really done online yet. Blake is still running the DM sessions on the Wednesdays, so Jacob will be a player on the Wednesdays while Blake DMs, and then they'll alternate for the Fridays. But they're in their own worlds. There's nothing as same world scenarios. There's no chance to run into each other. There's no external factors to take into consideration when one group moves and the other doesn't. It also means we won't see delays in weeks as well, because we're not trying to keep timelines, which is really cool to see too.
Oi! I just realised that. Hey,
Yeah.
so we won't have to miss out because they were away, or
Correct.
vice versa.
Yes, so we're going to get more consistent with our recordings, with our streamings, with our uploads, everything. Other news you guys might not know because we're specifically on Twitch at the moment. We are going live on YouTube as well.
And TikTok.
And TikTok.
And
There you go.
TikTok?
So we're doing all of it, okay?
So TikTok is all your behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
But are we going live
Live,
for the
not the stream.
D&D streams? Okay.
Not the stream.
So
Okay.
Rob's in charge of TikTok.
Right.
So when we go live and stuff and we're setting up and rearranging and doing all that, he's actually just going to go live when we're doing it because we hit over 1,000 followers.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh!
So,
And we've hit, recently in just 28 days alone, over 10,000 viewers on YouTube.
awesome. There you go, guys. So we're going to be on all different platforms. You don't have to stick onto the one place to watch us. If you get a notification for one but not the other, jump on. It's all going to be the same thing. You're going to be able to view us in different scenarios, different ways. The YouTube obviously will upload the videos like we have done prior, so you can watch back and catch up with each different campaign. It also means you don't have to watch Wednesday and Friday both times before going to the next Wednesday, Friday to keep the timelines in place. They're completely different campaigns. So if you like the Wednesday session better, you can watch Charles games instead of the Fridays. If you like the Friday sessions better, you can watch them instead of the Wednesday sessions. It's all about what dynamics you like with the groups and the parties. It's all about some fun. Yeah, it's actually going to be a really, really good time.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm curious. Friday has no girls in it now, hey?
It does not.
Boys.
Just the boys.
There's gonna be so much gross shit.
It's all going to be fun, guys. It's all going to be fun.
Oh, sorry for swearing.
That's okay. How do you...
That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
How do you feel about the group we're in now on Wednesdays?
It's because
Words. Yeah, they're hard.
Wednesday group has been Wednesday group for what, like 3 years?
Like 6.
Yeah, longer.
6 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, 5?
It'd be 5 officially as the split groups, but you guys have been playing together for about 6 to 7 years.
6 years
pretty
of
crazy,
playing
right?
with like the same people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Rob and Arthur. I am. But I am kind of keen to see like differences and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing.
Well, Jacob came home to Wednesday.
He did. He was a Wednesday player for a long time. He actually moved over to the Friday.
Not very loyal.
Well, he does what he has to do. He's a good role player.
He is.
So look, when you play with some players for 5, 6, 7 years, obviously you're going to rub off on each other, and some things are going to annoy you that others didn't before. There's going to be some character types, character personalities that sometimes clash when you're playing the game.
No, you actually talk about it.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
You tell them.
No, we sound.
Do I annoy you?
You don't intentionally annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an attack. It's okay.
Let's have it out.
No, we're not having it out. It's not a problem at all, Kat. I like playing with you. I like playing with Robin after too. Okay, we just sometimes go on tangents that we don't need to go on. But sometimes that's half the fun, right? You don't realize those things until it actually happens. So, again, no ill will, no bad blood. I love those guys. I see them all the time. It's just a different group, bit of fun. Yeah. Back to the question that you didn't answer. How do you feel about this new Wednesday group?
I'm so keen to see something different.
Okay, but how are you feeling so far in testing? With the group, how does it feel?
Well, testing is a lot of just like combat and technicalities and stuff like that, and I think that doesn't really tell you how the group's going to get along.
Okay.
So I don't particularly
So you haven't been...
know yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I think they'll be alright.
It's interesting because you're at the moment the real person that's intentionally helping everyone in combat, because you're giving out these bardic inspiration dice that have different effects,
Yeah.
right? So how are your relationships with different players blooming over these last couple of weeks by giving out inspiration die and stuff? Is it helping? Do people want to help you more in combat and make sure you're up when you fall down? How does that work out for you?
I haven't paid attention to that.
Matt.
So
Okay, cool.
yeah. In combat, it's just whoever's the lowest gets the healing. Like
Okay.
it's not like a friend's bias.
Well, not a friend's bias, but even like, how do you decide to give out bardic inspiration?
Whoever looks like they're having a bad time. Or no, wait, a bardic, that's healing. Bardic inspiration, I think I was just... Well, tonight, I didn't realize I would have unlimited... the broadcast. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be the Technical Difficulty Podcast without some technical difficulties. We're still working on those guys. I find that a lot of players actually gravitate towards you now in combat more, because you're able to help them, give them some stuff when they need it.
Really?
Yeah, and even just the players themselves, not so much the characters while we're playing. You've got a nice little dynamic going with Maddie at the table. It goes pretty well. Evan and Jacob sort of sits to the other side, but you still able to like talk to them and help them out when there needs to be, and they're giving you advice with how to play it as well. I think it's a really cool like social group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like how many of us, obviously in these play tests we have all gone down, but I love how many of us have healing spells.
That's just character creation. Yeah. It is helping a little bit so far. What's the next way? I was going to phrase this. I feel like this group as well, it's not going to be combat focused and combat reliant in sort of like the way we play the game. I think a lot of us will be able to maybe talk our way out of a situation or role play a thing that doesn't even have to resort into combat straight away.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Wednesday when we played prior,
There were some chaotic forces.
No, not. It's not negative. I think it was just
Saying
we liked to thrive on combat
Yeah.
because it was what we were good at,
Yeah.
and we kind of didn't need to advise each other on what to do next. We could just do it and do the big crazy numbers, do the big crazy thing, and blow it out of the park until the last fight. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think with this group, it'll be a nice change of pace. We can sort of slow down, we can chat, we can have some fun. It doesn't have to be a joke
Yeah.
while we're, doing things. It can, I think we're going to get more of I don't say it this way, that's the only word I can think of. Like more of a complete experience with role playing.
More fleshed out.
Yeah, sure. So I think it's going to be an interesting group. I think there's another good question. I think Friday group's going to be hilarious, by the way, guys. I'm definitely going to be watching them too. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to jump back into this chat so we can read the question.
My thing wasn't working.
Friday's going to be great because I've got to deal with it as a player.
Imagine having to DM a DM. I feel bad for Jacob a little bit. Only a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's his first official time DMing too. It's going to be quite fun.
Well, the good thing is that I've been in every single one of Jacob's games.
Yeah, you sort of know how we run the sessions. It's quite good.
And he always runs it off me anyway.
I can't find the question.
So the question was...
Should it be mandatory that a bard actually plays an instrument?
It
Bard at
depends
my
on-
table has a bard playlist on their musical streaming service.
I don't do that, personally. I feel like if you're going to lean into the music, I think you should attempt it, make it funny. You can even do slam poetry. Depending on what type of bard you want to be. It doesn't have to be a musical instrument. You could be a lore bard and tell some crazy big story to, pump up your group. It doesn't have to be music.
That's the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
I want to cover my bard in jingly things like little bells and shit, and then just dance and that be music. Does that count as an instrument though?
But you're being a bard and you're inspiring people rather through your dancing than rather through your musical style.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't always have to be a musical instrument. I personally think if you're going to focus on a musical instrument, I would like to see you at least attempt to have some fun with it, flavor it. I don't like to say, I just give bardic dice.
With this, you have to, I think the bard class, you get an instrument for free, so there's no point not having it.
Yeah. But that might not be how you inspire people, right? So Kat might be really fun in the idea of the way she dances to inspire people instead. You might have a eloquence bard really hype you up. No, you can do it. You're awesome. Like, I really believe that you can do it.
Can I read you the first trinket I noticed? Like the first one I read.
Sorry, hold up. Okay, so we're going through a table of trinkets.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is what she said. That's covering her.
But this is the first one I read, and I was like, wow. Anyway, a glass jar containing a weird bit of flesh floating in a pickling fluid.
I really hope you don't wear an outfit full of that to jingle. That would
Do
be
I have to?
creepy.
Do I get to roll for these to
You
figure
can-
out my
well, if
trinkets?
you wanted to roll, you could make it random. But you can also pick.
How many trinkets do I get? It's
I
the
don't know.
D100.
Beatboxing, dude, yeah, go for it. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can flavor it in a way that makes it work, go for it. You know what I mean? I personally am really excited to play a bard. I'm making sure it's the last class that I do play, because I feel like if I do play it, I'm going to keep doing it and flavoring it in different ways in terms of the inspiration. I think it's really important when you give out bardic inspiration or when you do a performance or something, you explain what you're doing. Rather than just saying, hey, Jordan, take some bardic inspiration. You know, talk about how, you know, like if I was the bard, I'd be like, Kat, you know, I know we're in like a really dire situation. I know that, you know, there's a whole pack of bugbears coming at us right now and we probably won't survive the fight.
Oh.
But I think you would be really, really wise to make this fight something worthwhile to be remembered by. And you know what I mean? And inspire you that way through words.
Okay.
You know what? Pick up a ukulele and start singing about, you know, whatever you make. Redo Kickapoo by Tenacious D without copyright streams. And you know,
Actually, the idea of my bard is
Yeah.
to be that kind of annoying live, laugh, love lady.
okay.
And I was looking up all these like really cringy quotes on my phone.
Awesome. Do it.
That's what I want
Yeah,
to do.
well,
I just
then
want to
do
come
it.
up with like, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, that sounds great. Go through Tumblr, just scroll through and find all the
I was
like
on Pinterest.
cringy, yeah, there you go. All the cringy posts and say it to people when you're about to give them some inspiration.
Yeah.
I think it's great. As long as you flavor it, as long as you make it something fun. But no, it doesn't have to be something to do with an instrument. I feel like that's just a really cliche.
You win
outlook
every
for a
battle
bard.
you don't fight. I mean, that's not the saying. You lose every battle you don't fight.
There you go. That's a good quote.
There you go.
See? Start throwing them at people. I think it's quite fun.
Yeah.
I learned to play the Halo theme song on guitar for the sole purpose of one day I'll play a bard. Hell yeah, boy, that's sick. Tried to learn on the flute, but you get tired of it. Don't. Yeah, the flute would be annoying. It's like there was. Jacob brought in the other instrument, didn't he? When he played a bard, he did. He brought a banjo in. Okay, see, so people can run in with a banjo and be an annoying prick. People can come in with kazoos. You can come in with those nose tin whistles.
Smokey came in with a train whistle.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Rob in the very first campaign came in with a tuning fork.
Tuning fork. That was amazing.
There's different ways you can do it in terms of instruments. You don't have to be like super proficient at using the instrument properly, but
Fun fact.
make some fun with it.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a fairy.
Yeah, okay.
My mum had one of those like those dingly things in the wind chime.
Right.
It had a wind chime. It had those like tubes, right? And they're
Yeah.
all different sizes.
Yep.
And I was like, I want a little flute thing. I didn't realize that probably more goes into it than just random tubes, but I cut it up and sewed them together, and it had a little. It didn't sound right, but it was cute. Thinking of doing it again.
Bring it in for the bard. I don't know, like, you know what? Just bring in a full ass wind chime and just knock it when you want to inspire people. I'm down with that. That's funny as hell.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Exactly right. So yeah, just as long as you can flavor it, guys. Like, you don't need instruments. It's like saying that all warlocks are evil and have to make deals with the devil. There's some classes to change that. You know what I mean? So have fun with it.
Pick a number between 1 and 100. A mouth fork. Yeah, you pick a number between 1 and 100.
86.
An empty silver snuff box wearing an inscription on the surface that says dreams.
I don't like it. Blue said 83.
Who? Blue. A bit of folded cloth that when unfolded turns into a stylish cap. There you go.
And it can also be used as a hat. Oh my god, what fun little Simpsons reference, guys. No guitar anymore, too hard to keep tuned and keep on top of it. Many more handheld portable instruments. Dude, you don't have to like worry about tuning. There's like apps on your phone now that can like, portable
Ukulele.
tuners and stuff. That's fine. Ukulele, so I've got a ukulele ready for a bard.
You can play the ukulele.
I can play ukulele. I'm gonna learn how to play the banjo as well. I've got a bass, I've got a guitar.
Banjo's looks like
Like most instruments, yeah. Most string instruments.
yeah, but it goes like a leaf almost, but without the pointy tip.
Just Google what a banjo looks like.
It's a round.
It
like
is
a
round at the
circle
bottom.
guitar.
It is.
Yes, it is, because it's almost like a drum. I've seen one where it's like one of those, like it looks like a drum circle, and then there's chords attached.
Okay.
Is that a banjo?
Your words, not mine. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, there's a whole bunch of different instruments I've got that I can use that I can improvise with for bards.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not playing them, because I feel like it'll never end. But yeah, rock it, have fun, enjoy it. As long as you can flavor it, that's how you should be doing it. Got an origami sailor hat.
Yeah,
exactly right. Bit of paper that unfolds into a hat. Exactly. Oh, Blake's coming in with the chockies.
Ooh, that's messy.
I'm loving it. Look, guys, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask again. We do like to keep on topic on Wednesdays.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. So, next steps before we actually start recording, we do have a cool couple of fun ideas for videos. I want to try and do it tonight. Unfortunately, Maddie couldn't be here for the testing, and the guys had to leave early. So, but what we want to do is we want to record each player and ask them what they're playing, what the character's basic outline is, where they think the character's going to go moving forward through the story, their fears, their ambitions, and everything. And we want to sort of see how accurate we are at the start of the campaign and how far we can make it before it all just completely falls to shit. We had a really cool fun idea based on the very first campaign we played. There was a wizard who was originally supposed to be very timid, very shy, and hide in a backpack, and he didn't know where most of the magic was coming from. Literally within one session, the guy jumped out of the bag, said "fuck this," and started yelling and screaming, and became the most angry little dude on the field. It was hilarious, but it's fun to see those little transitions where you're like, oh yeah, I'm like a really small, timid dude, and it cuts to him just like screaming at someone on a broom in the middle of the sky. Fun little things like that. So we want to try and record those probably next week. We want to do a bunch of promotional stuff that we can put up so people can get excited for the campaigns. Like, are there any other recordings that we have planned? Was that just the main one at the start of the campaign?
Mute myself every time. So besides like your building videos and stuff like that, there'll be the TikTok versions of it where it's individually you guys will be like 60 seconds long, and then there'll be the full ones where you'll hear Jacob's idea of what the campaign will be and my idea of what the campaign will be. Because remember, Jacob takes it from me as well, that the world is ever changing. So we're gonna have an idea for a world. We hope for it.
And how quickly it falls to shit.
How quickly everything's gonna change.
I like that, that's fun.
That's a little thing for us. But more or less for video ideas, nothing at the moment. We've decided to actually go full step back. And focus on one thing at a time, because that's how you get burnt out and decide to drop the entire thing and go on a hiatus that took almost a year.
Oh,
Look,
how
that's
long
what
have
I
the
mean all day,
Vintage
it's fine.
streamed?
Streamed?
Yeah.
I can actually tell you. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Sure.
We did have a couple of videos recorded that we wanted to upload through the week, through the year or so. And it was more of like a Wednesday versus Friday group.
We did record one.
Yeah, we recorded one. I don't think we uploaded it.
No.
So
It just poorly done.
yeah, so we want to try and I'd like to try and see more of that. I think it's quite fun. If we can't see them in the campaign or have an impact in their world, I'd like to sort of, still compete in a way against the players of Friday group. So it could be a fun little, like, Jacob and Blake are both impartial to how the games play out, or maybe they can create challenges and then the rest of us sort of just have at it. I think it'd be quite fun. Yeah.
One day I want to make a one-shot.
March
Cool.
19th.
This year.
That was the podcast.
Not the actual D&D. There you go.
I want to do a one-shot.
Yeah, so you want to start a one-shot?
Yeah.
What sort of one-shot do you want to do?
So many.
Or is it a surprise?
So many.
Yeah, cool, okay.
I keep having new ideas and then getting halfway and then giving up.
January 10th. The last time we live streamed Dungeons and Dragons.
And
Nearly
when will
a
we
year.
be starting streaming again?
December.
December
Nearly as far, yeah.
December 8th, Friday the 8th, is Friday Group's first live session.
They get to go first.
They do. They do.
That's fine.
Oh,
We're not even there for the first session.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, spoilers, bro. Anyone that's watched this, yeah, heads up. Yeah, we had to push the Wednesday session back a week. It's my wife's birthday, so I won't be here.
You also got married.
I did get married.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
It's little things that we
I
get to
was
tell
there.
the groups. Yeah, it's fun.
It was like,
So yeah, that'll be something else that we can do. We can make along the way. Talking about trigger tables, so you have access to some better loot tables. Where's the one that we had? The one that's in our group chat.
The one that I printed.
Mm.
So that one is a loot table that tells you what items in like consumables and stuff like that, but not ones that would be like so you got to ask pretty much what to be DM on the plans.
Okay, so look, honestly, mate, just make your own. Have fun with it. Pick some fun items you feel confident giving out to your group. make a random number generator, give each item a number, go for gold. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need to fall back on random tables that you find on the internet. I mean, if you want to make it easy for yourself, go for gold. But,
You could probably Google it.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you
I
can
have
Google
no idea.
loot table D&D 5e, something will come up. But I think it's fun to make your own, you know what I mean? Like, because then you know potentially what you want to give them,
Can I tell
but it's also still the randomness of if you actually get it or not. Yeah, sorry, what was that?
Can I tell you about the one-shot ideas I've had that are probably never going to come?
Will they never come? Or is there a chance they will?
I don't know.
You want me to know about it if they do come?
It's not so much like plot.
Okay. What,
Yeah.
take 5 years?
Remember the plot or any secrets.
Okay, well, you're making it up, so it's fine.
I did make it up.
It
Alright,
means you can tweak it for later. Okay, sure.
the first one was like a full-on orphanage style, where you guys were playing kids and you were going to be like level 0 but with some skill. And then it got too complicated trying to figure out what skills you were going to have.
She was making up her own system.
And it was like situated to this one mansion thingy-mabob, right?
So you're gonna make an entire game system.
That was the first one.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait till you hear the second game.
Okay.
So I went through that, and then Blake was all like, they like combat. And I'm like, well, I don't want the kids to die. That's a bit dark. So, I don't know. And then it got a little complicated because it was very leaning towards like puzzle, like escape room style.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know if like, when it comes to puzzles and you're the players, it's like, I don't know if it's gonna be easy or difficult. Like,
That's half the fun, right?
yeah, but it's also like I don't want to make it too easy, but I also don't want to make it too difficult. And then, of course, trying to figure out all the leveling and all that. And then I gave up on that, and I was like, I'm going to play a different game.
Okay.
And I had this idea, right?
Yeah.
Because I do not know every word in this book.
Oh,
I haven't read it.
it's okay, little while. I'm not messing with you. It's fine.
But I don't know the other books either. And I was
Yeah.
like, if I can situate this whole, like, adventure
Yeah.
in a different made-up world
Yeah.
where I could just take full control, right? Then I don't need to know everything. I just need to know what I need to know, and I can move on.
So homebrew.
Kind of, yeah.
So what we do every week.
Pretty much.
Cool.
But it was going to be a dream world, and then we had this dream scale of your abilities are limited to how much lucidity you had, from 0 to 100.
Oh, you're just making entire game systems. Holy shit. Okay. I thought it was like, I'm just going to make like a little in-world thing. Holy shit. Okay.
Well, no, Blake's turned around and told me maybe start simple if you even want to, like, for a first one shot, just run something
a lot.
already written.
Yeah.
Because I keep wanting to make my own.
I mean, do it. It's really cool.
Mm.
Sorry, we do have another comment. Give me 1 second. We can move on to the one after that. I made a whole world for some new players to roam and explore. A homebrew campaign continuing their backstories. Their backstories were bare minimum to start exploring, and no goals to motivate their characters to continue an adventure. I probably should have known better for newer players. Nice that you have story in your campaigns, but it is rather refreshing DMing a hack and slash adventure. Look, it depends on what sort of game you want to run, dude. Like, if you want to make a hack and slash adventure, have fun with it.
Yeah.
New players don't really care much about story. They're just going to come around and do the cool thing, roll the dice, and look at that as 20, and go off. I know that's exactly what I wanted to do when I first started playing. I was like, I'm just a fucking pirate, man. I'm just going to fight shit.
That's
So-
the beauty of D&D. It's
Exactly
really
right, you-
do whatever you want with it.
You get different adventures for different groups, right? Our Wednesday groups were hack and slash, really, if you think about it. Moving into this new session, I think it will be more of like a role-play focused and heavy game. And that's, I guess, the fun of DMing is the fact that you can run those different styles of games as well and still keep it fresh for yourself. You recently found out that D&D 5e has a madness mechanic.
I
That's
have-
dangerous. It's yeah, I've heard a little bit about it. I don't really want to focus too much into it because I really don't know.
That
I mean,
sounds
sorry guys, hiccups.
amazing.
Madness mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my code.
You could do like a bit of a darkest dungeon type thing. If you want to like sort of make a campaign
I thought it
around
was-
that game.
I thought it was like your character's just going crazy. Is that not it?
Yeah. I would assume so.
Madness,
I don't know,
the madness mechanic is actually in our world,
Sick. There you go, guys. We
but
didn't know.
it all depends on what you're going to come up against and what's really going to type of stuff.
Very.
I'm not going to have it something that's completely just going to constantly come at you. Same with diseases and sicknesses. On your very first campaign I ran for you, that was always a possibility. You remember that some people actually got hit with what we ended up calling slap cheek, but that was a disease. So that again is re-entering the world.
Sweet, I'm all for it. I like that sort of new like role-play immersion that we're going to focus more on. So that sounds really cool to me.
No toiletries included.
Thank you.
That's another important thing to discuss as well, guys. If you're going to run a campaign, it's really important to have a session 0 with your players, and have a discussion about what you like to and what you don't like to see in games.
I miss session 0.
We're doing it now. What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
You've had the longest.
There's like 5 weeks of session 0. These are all testing.
Oh, okay. I missed the first one.
Okay.
That's all I mean.
I thought you meant like you look back fondly on them. Like I missed them.
Oh.
Oh, like, you're in it. Okay.
You guys had individual, then you had group, and then now you have
Yeah. So, but it's really important. So, for example, Kat, there's some stuff you don't like to see in game.
Mm-hmm.
What's the main one? Bodily excrements. So we brought that up in session 0, and now Blake's aware of it, and so are the players. That's something that we will try to avoid putting into the game, and really going into description of doing. But that comes with doing a session 0 and talking about it with the players. I really don't like dealing with I guess violence with children and stuff. So we won't focus on that unless it's a really important story point. I've sort of said that, you know, if it happens, it happens, but I don't want to make it every sort of session, you know, and these get brought up in session 0s. A really common one is essay. So if you don't want to have that in the game, it's important to mention it before the game starts with your DM and with the players to make sure that everyone's on the same point. So we've had plenty of time with these last couple of weeks to really hone in those session 0s of what we want to see, what we don't want to see in combat. Blake's sort of given us a real brief rundown of like what we can expect to see, and we sort of like, you know, yeah, okay, that's acceptable. We can do that moving forward. But yeah, don't just run into it, you know, without everyone being upfront with what they want to see in the game and expect.
Yeah. I remember last campaign, my character ate something and then was told that she might have something randomly happen to her. It made me very upset.
It did. And again, that's because that's something we hadn't discussed earlier in the campaign. It came out of left field too. It's quite far into the campaign.
Yeah, but I think because the boys would have, like, especially with Bane, he was constantly pantless.
Yeah.
And being washed on the side of the ship kind of thing going on. So it was kind of like normal, and then I wasn't involved, and that was fine. Like, I don't mind if it's someone else.
Do your thing, boo-boo type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it makes you laugh, that makes you laugh, and I want you to be happy. But, like, I want to be happy too. So.
Exactly right. And that's where it sort of has to be mentioned, right? Because that was quite a negative experience for a lot of the people at the table once it happened. We all just... Kat was obviously very visibly upset. And we all sort of just sat at the table like, what the fuck? Like, why was that even a thing in the first place?
Are we talking about the same thing?
We are. And after the conversation, what happened, this is campaign 1, right?
No, I'm talking about diarrhea.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about campaign 1.
Oh, you're talking about that one where I actually cried.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we all sort of had to like wait until the end, and we're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we all like stood up the cat. Like, mate, that's not fucking on. Like, you can't just throw that at people and expect people to be okay with it. Like, yeah, for you that's normal and whatnot, but again, it's that conversation you have to have prior so that everyone's on the same understanding and you don't have those negative experiences.
Yeah.
258 damage. I've discovered that I really like offing people. Players really likes the numbers, keeping track of things in combat. Fellow variant incumbents. Yeah, look, man, like I said, I really don't know much about the Madness mechanic. I can't really...
Do your people like being offed?
Like how the big numbers, it sounds like. So doing the really big flashy thing goes both ways. If they can do it, he can do it too. Yeah, I mean, dude, if that's what you like doing, and if that's how you like to run those games, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's keep it refreshing for everyone. That's, you know, the really big takeaway from that.
I hate dying.
You hate dying?
There's so much math.
You didn't die in the first campaign. What do you mean? Like,
you're right.
You don't die at all. You died in the second campaign because we all died.
Yeah, that sucked.
The fuck?
It sucked.
Okay. part of the game. Don't make stupid choices, you won't die. Pretty easy, really.
Technically, Cat did die.
Old age, off screen.
A childbirth.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah, so it's, yeah, you just have fun with it, guys. Just enjoy it. Again, it's, you know, it's not a serious game. At the end of the day, everyone still has to be able to walk away from the table having a positive experience with each other. You know, you can make a serious scenario that you can all come through together, and at the end of the day, you can still talk about it as a fun memory of, oh my god, you remember that time when it was really stressful, but we managed to find a way through it. Or we all died, but it was really cool because we had a chance to get through, but Jordan rolled a 1. You know what I mean? Like, it turns into a story later. The main takeaway is that you're able to walk away from the game with a positive experience and able to talk to each other and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's what these new groups are going to really succeed in the new campaign. I think it's actually going to be really great. Yeah.
Do you ever watch a movie and think about it as a D&D campaign? Like, oh, they rolled good numbers there, but bad numbers there. Because I think about it sometimes when it's like rolling the low numbers.
You have like an example? Like, what movie have you watched? What experienced it? That's not the D&D movie.
I could literally compare it to almost every movie.
Okay, so what do you got? Give me an example.
But basically, the whole idea of it is like, if you don't get those low numbers, you don't get those scenes, and it's like you miss out. If you were to like get
like
20s all the time, then you don't get movies where they have to like fall down.
Give me an
and
example.
I can't think of a single
You said
example.
I have a bunch of them. Give me an example.
No, like I said, I could do it to any movie. That's the thing.
Right. Okay, so Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
If she tried to fit in normally, she didn't try and have a plan, things would be weird. It wouldn't have gone the same way.
What are they going to do with roles though?
But if she didn't fall off as well, she couldn't get better.
That made no sense.
I'm trying. No,
What
but
the hell?
and it's just the way, by chance, I like that things are by chance.
Are you talking about like in Pirates of the Caribbean?
I keep thinking of that one movie. That brunette lady.
That one specific brunette lady from that one movie.
It's got Brad Pitt and Channing Tatum in it.
Yep.
What's her name?
Okay.
She's a writer. She goes into the forest. Anyway, moving on. We're just
No. We're staying on that topic now.
I can't
You've got me
complete my
interested.
thought. No, but it's just if everything goes perfect, you're talking about if you roll a natural 1, we wouldn't have gone there. But if you roll a natural 1 and we end up over here, we would never have known that existed unless. So failing is also kind of winning.
Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most roundabout way to agree with a point. I like it. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the players like the new style, a clear direction for what everyone's working towards. I like any game that I'm able to entertain my players with. Exactly right. Like, yeah, like
Your Highness?
going mad into page 58 Dungeon Sky offering people is listed as a flaw on the tables. What the fuck? Gee, okay, so you can just. I don't want to read the DMG because I don't run games. So I don't want to have the information of someone that runs the game when I don't run it. I'm just a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't like the idea of potentially metagaming because I know something I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, there's so many times I see it in Jacob where he just knows shit and then he's got to act like he doesn't know shit. He doesn't tell us, but he lets it know that he knows, but he won't tell you what it is.
Yeah. Your Highness, none of those actors. If you don't know the movie, don't look it up. Your Highness. Is that so? Your Highness is a movie, is it?
Possibly.
Is it something I should watch? Is it messed up? Is it? You're gonna have to like
But none of those actors, if you don't know the movie, don't look it up. Okay, I won't.
Okay. So basically, the point you were trying to make is like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
So Jack Sparrow at the start is
Yeah.
just sailing on a ship.
Yeah.
And if he would have had to roll to see what his like upkeep on the boat looked like, and he rolled really low, so it started to like flood and sink.
Yeah, and that's how he met Will and Elizabeth.
And so he luckily managed to just make it all the way to the dock to step off to be able to make it off.
Yeah, but if he was
Because
good
he
at the
rolled
boat,
low.
he just buggered
He would
off.
have just rolled up.
And then
Okay, that's okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay.
failure
Yeah, it adds to
equals
story,
interest.
of course. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
That was the most convoluted way to say that, man.
I got it too much.
That's fine. It's okay.
Do you wonder, like, if there's movie directors out there just playing D&D? Rolling a dice to see what happens to their characters and then adding it.
Have you ever seen a movie called The Room?
I've heard of that one.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to watch The Room.
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers. I've never.
Okay.
I don't
They
know.
played D&D. Russo Brothers directors before they did that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then also the D&D movie.
Yeah, obviously.
No. She's asking if the directors like see what happened next in their movie.
To get out.
Just played D&D to do that shit.
That's what Avengers Endgame did. They spoke about it in multiple interviews.
I thought they just played as a group to build the team dynamic.
No,
No, that's what D&D did.
no. So the Russo
Yeah.
brothers played a thing without the actual actors in there
Yeah.
to see like how sporadic and all this stuff would be, what would fail, what would work, and all this stuff.
Yeah, it would be
Interesting.
like this whole 6-second thing in combat that would help them like choreograph combat scenes possibly.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm not
read
a
movies.
film director. You and Amiz, I was trying to guess the movie. You couldn't do that. Oh, I got you again.
No, it's the fucking. All right, so she.
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's like, all right, what's her name? It's not Renee. It's like Sandra Bullock. And then Channing Tatum. She writes romance novels. Channing
How
Tatum.
the fuck did you get Sandra Bullock on one guess?
You know the movie, don't you? It's on Netflix.
It's a newer movie, and the thing is that there's a scene in a plane where Daniel Radcliffe is there, and she's like, untie me here, and he goes, that's just a seatbelt. No, I've seen a lot of the ads for it. Channing Tatum is the actor, why Brad Pitt is the person she writes about without
Yeah.
knowing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
so she
he's-
writes a book, but she doesn't know that she's actually writing what is actually
He's
going
the Channing Tatum's like the guy whose abs are on the front cover of the book, right? And he comes to the book signings with her because everyone loves him because he's a pretty boy. But then he's trying to prove himself as being more than a pretty boy, and she's like, "I'm just a pretty boy." And then they meet
No, that's
Brad
Ryan
Pitt,
Reynolds.
who's all like, "Yeehaw!" Not a cowboy. And they're in a forest, but he knows how to. But then I think he dies, or I don't know, I forget. And then Channing Tatum does prove himself.
Like, I really
It's
hope
called
you just
The Lost City.
The Lost City!
like. I really hope you just
Oh.
save an edit of me reacting to her trying to describe that.
Oh,
movie
trust
to
me,
me.
there will be a lot of TikToks.
That's the other thing too, guys. We're trying to keep a lot of funny clips of us gameplay-wise to advertise as well. So keep an eye out. Yeah, there's serious ones too, but yeah, quite fun. Yeah. No, I've never watched that. What are you talking about?
It's a good movie, you should watch it.
Should I?
She wears a sparkly dress.
A sparkly dress.
Yeah.
Not just normal.
It's so sparkly.
Sparkly.
Yeah, and
Holy
I
shit!
think it's purple.
I'm
It goes
gonna-
really well with the jungle she's dressed in.
I better watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it tonight.
Thank you.
I won't watch it tonight.
Oh. You don't have to.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay.
Okay. Blake, man, I need you to help me. It's not the proposal. Our good friend Blue, who's talking about madness mechanics and DMG,
Yeah.
and I don't like talking about and reading into the DMG because I don't want to know things as a player and not someone that runs games.
Yeah.
About offing people.
Hmm.
What's up with that?
So there's different levels to madness.
Right.
There's also different types. So the longer you have the madness,
Wait, offing people is a madness thing.
That's what he said, yeah.
I thought it was a thing.
well, that's just a general term.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just best bring it up. We're not going to read the whole thing to you guys.
so
Okay.
there's like levels of madness?
Well, because it's going to be part of like the game apparently, so I don't want to go too far into it knowing.
Ooh, good point. I want to know everything. Can my character go mad? Oh. Do you have illusions?
I mean,
illusions was the wrong word.
TV and a table for a battle map. I mean, you could.
we
It's a
used
lot
to
of
do
power.
that
Did we? I didn't do it. It was before I
before
played.
your time.
Yeah.
We used to do it and have a laptop connected with a HDMI cord.
There's a photo in the group chat of it.
Yes, there is.
Not on Twitch chat.
I can bring it up on the Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay, madness effects. So you roll a D100 percentile, and one of the appropriate effects get added. They can be short term, long term, and indefinite.
Hallucination. Is that one?
That's hallucination, yeah. And there's a whole table for it, and there's also like curing. There's a whole thing for curing the madness and stuff like that.
Is this an additional book or is this
This is
in
the
the regular
diagnostic
book?
ideas,
Oh.
the original book.
Okay.
There's a lot in here that I never showed you guys because one, I was also learning 5th edition with views. So for instance, when you first started playing, I was only like 2 months into these, and I was melding 3.5 of 5th ed. And then the further along I got, because of Jacob, I had to start reading the book more and more and start understanding it more and more.
That's dickhead.
No, so it's quite fine. So
I'm eating this.
with the madness mechanic, it's just it's some people's cup of tea, some people's not. I actually a lot of demons use the madness mechanic. In fact, Razit used it once on Rock, but the thing was is that it didn't change much because it was for lust. So he went and like had sex with a grandma.
He would have done that anyway. It didn't change.
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
cool.
I'm saying. It really didn't have much effect for you to understand that it happened, but it happened.
Right. Okay.
But yes, TV in the table for a battle map. So what we used to do is we used the website Incarnate, which Jacob and I actually showcased quite a bit in the early days of the podcast, where you could actually make your own battle map. We used to use it in lockdown, so I can make what you visually saw. It's free, and you can pay the subscription for a year or a couple of months, and you get access to every bit of piece of it. But you can also just Google images things. The only downside about using a table TV is the fact that one, you got to build the table with the TV in it. So if you have the time and the passion, do it. But also maintenance of making sure the table's clean, breathable, and all that other things as well. And the reason why we stopped using the TV as well, because for what we do is very impractical, especially if the cameras couldn't keep up with the frame rates and all that stuff. It showed
Yeah.
up and it wouldn't bring it out properly.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it was really useful because back when I used to have a huge map, which if I was to set it up here, it would be literally pretty much that whole inner floor space that's in front of you guys, like in
Right.
between the table and stuff. So I could zoom in and drag it whenever they were going to do stuff, so they can only see X amount of portions and stuff like that. But I got over it quite quickly.
I personally prefer the way we do it now because it's like you get the 3D level to it, the scale. That's just me.
Do you remember when he did that setup where he covered it up until we were in that corridor?
Oh yeah, he
And
was
then he-
dead,
I was dead.
but he came to watch and play Switch.
I died the week before.
Oh,
And I
no.
said, Blake, are you fucking kidding me? I'm still coming to watch. And he said, okay.
It was so cool.
It was
wasn't
very cool. It was very cool.
With all
Can we
the
do more
lights
of
and
that? Is
stuff.
that too hard to do?
More Fog of War stuff. No, I can. I'm gotta work out the proper lighting for it.
Yeah, the camera angles would be weird too. We have to make sure it like was
No, it'd be like a special type of one where I would
Yeah.
create a top-down view.
Okay,
Um,
because that could be something cool too.
That was really cool.
When DMing, I need 3 lecterns to hold my books open. How's all supposed to fit behind a little DM screen?
Print off the pages
do
you
just-
need and
well,
make a tiny one book.
I'm going to actually be doing that as a video. I don't know why I haven't done it as a video yet, but how to build your own DM screen. My one, for instance, is 120 centimeters long and sits at 30 centimeters tall. So it's quite tall. So I'm able to actually like have everything behind there, and just because of how the hinges work, it's pretty self-standing when it's almost completely straight anyway. But I have created other designs too, which we gave to one of our friends, Smokey, for his birthday, which turned out pretty beautiful. Did torch techniques and stuff on that with French polishing.
Very fancy. Very, very fancy. Awesome. Does anyone have anything they want
You should incorporate magnets.
to... Madness or magnets?
I was going to use magnetic tapes to create shelving with my 3D printer and magnets for me to place miniatures and stuff. But then I also realized that I have a 2-meter table as my DM table,
Good then.
so I don't really need it.
That makes sense. But magnets are cool.
They are very cool. Magnetic tape is the easiest way to use it for the DM screen itself. And you incorporate magnets into whatever you're going to do.
I'm gonna get you a bunch of circle magnets
Oh,
for Christmas.
it's very difficult to understand what to. I always thought about incorporating it into my phone. Thought that I was going to break my phone when I pulled it apart. So there's not much I can use it for unless I start to like 3D print certain things for it. So here I'll do some things. I'll keep you guys on topic and ask you guys some questions
Sure.
about the upcoming campaign and stuff like that, what you're excited for and that. So with this campaign, it's going to be run a bit different. So this is so people can kind of understand that you from the start are going to know the ending of your campaign on the first session.
So he will, right?
Well, you will. You're going to watch it, aren't you?
I guess.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
It's got nothing
Nice
else to
thought.
do Wednesday afternoon.
What do you think?
Interesting. I don't know how to feel about that.
Did you already know about this?
It was speculated. Nothing was confirmed. I don't know. Like, it's interesting because it makes you think about how you're going to get there.
It gives you a goal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's you're playing with more information than what you're supposed to know, so it's kind of fun. But then I also don't want to feel like it's like an illusion of choice.
Well,
Like, I feel like I have to make this choice because at the end it's supposed to look like this.
no, but remember, I think I gave you guys a bit of it, but I can tell you here now anyway. The whole point is that if you play the campaign to a T like I want you to, it will end up like that.
Mm.
The whole purpose of the game is for free will.
Right.
So if you decide to go, I'm going to ignore everything Blake throws at me, it's going to change, but it might not change for the best.
It's definitely interesting because it's sort of also like some people might subconsciously try to play towards that ending.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like an illusion of choice in a way as well. It's interesting.
You
Like,
want to change the ending. You don't want to play towards it.
You might not want to. It might be a good ending for us.
You think he's going to start us off with a good ending?
Shit, who knows, man?
Oh, then we just be like, you know what? Life's is good.
Come back and we fuck up and make it better. Worse.
Nothing.
Could be fun. Look, I'm down for it. I'm down to try anything once. You know what I mean?
Here we go. So for Jacob's campaign, he's changed some rules. One of them is not using the optional rule. If you guys don't know, advantage is actually a optional rule. It is not a core rule. When you read the DMG, it'll actually tell you. What is your personal opinion on not having flanking? Flanking's the optional rule. Sorry, not advantage. Flanking.
I was going to say this. Like,
I hate it.
damage as well. Flanking's when you got one person behind and one in front.
I hate them taking away the rule personally. I feel like as the game progresses and people get into higher levels, magic scales a lot higher, a lot faster, a lot quicker than combat does. And combat is one of the things that we get from the start of the game towards the end of the game to try and help turn that miss into a hit. A lot of spells, even on like a failed, on a successful save, still take half the damage. So if we miss, we just miss. It's not like, oh, you're not close enough, I'll give you half the damage you're supposed to do. We just don't get to do it. So I feel like it's one of the things that keeps melee classes balanced toward against casters. That's also coming from someone that mainly plays melee characters, so I might be a little bit biased. How do you feel about it?
Play a little magic.
Yeah.
Besides that one time when I was a rogue.
So as a caster, it might be good for you then, because it means that the opponents also can't get advantage on you for flanking.
Yeah.
So
the plan is I won't be close enough to get flanked.
Yeah.
But I don't like anything that takes away from us having advantage. So there's no like balance out for it or anything.
So flanking is an optional.
Okay.
Every DM pretty much does it because players like it.
Yeah.
Jacob wants to try without it.
Okay.
But it is you just remove it. You can get rewarded advantage, but not from flanking.
Would it be like if you have 3 people, then do you get advantage?
no, they're just removing it.
Okay.
See, I don't like taking away power and agency from players. Ultimately, yes, the DM's created a world that wants to run. The players are the ones that are making it happen every single week. They're the ones that are making the choices to keeping the game moving. And I don't like taking agency and choices away from players. To give them the choice to flank might be, something that's detrimental to them, but will help their teammates in the long run. So I don't like taking away those choices.
What's
How did you say you were going to gain advantage?
So, for instance, if you have the high ground,
Yeah.
if you're, a ranger, if you were to teleport behind someone and swing,
so like surprise?
surprised, and then using kind of abilities. So, for instance, barbarians can give themselves advantage. You could grapple someone to give them advantage, like you grapple someone so other people can have advantage. There are other ways, but you really have to do a build around it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, for my character, I'm playing a sorcerer in this campaign, and one of my planned spells to take is Hold Person, because then I make them incapacitated, which means that my teammates not only will get advantage, but they will any hit is a critical hit.
How many melee classes? Because all I know is Jacob to play is magic uses.
That's what it is. You're right.
So that's what he knows best, and he doesn't know melee. But
He has played melee.
I
like he
personally-
knows almost every class. I give him that.
Yeah.
I personally don't like taking away things from players. I think it's also important to notice as well that putting yourself into a position where they can also get advantage on you is a choice. It goes both ways.
What's the reason for getting rid of it?
Something new. He wanted to test our knowledge and strategy skills.
He was getting ganged up on. He said, fuck this, I don't want to get ganged up on anymore.
Oh, he wants you guys to do something different.
Yeah, that's why he's also testing it. He's on the fence, but there's also something called initiative score. So you don't roll for initiative. It's 10 plus your initiative modifier. So that way you can always know who's in what order of initiative, so you can make strategies based around it. But as far as I know, he's not liking it.
He's not liking it.
No, I think he still prefers the roll.
Look, I don't
wouldn't
love it, I
mind.
don't hate it.
I got a +3. I like it.
I don't love it, I don't hate it. But what it does do if you do it, is you're going to get players playing to the rule, right? It just incentivizes always having a high dexterity, because that immediately quantifies into initiative count.
Right.
So it skews the way people build their characters in terms of stats. So yeah, again, you're forcing players to do something a certain way. Taking away a choice from a player, I'm not for it.
Well, Blue Infusion has a good question.
Hit me up.
Ideas for what I can do for a natural 1 attack roll besides breaking/dropping a weapon or attacking a friendly.
Trip.
All pro.
Well,
Stub your toe.
You
Take
could-
1d4.
so it's like, well, another thing is, that leads into another question is, are you guys excited to not immediately end your turns anymore in a natural 1?
I didn't even know. Yeah.
To be fair, when we nat one, we just build a plate and we just pass it. Anyway. So I don't think it'll be something that we have to get used to.
Yeah.
And remembering that we can move away from someone or do something else after.
Yeah.
Use a bonus action to whatever.
Use an extra attack if you have it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think we'll feel it more at higher levels. At the moment, when you're lower levels there and you like 1 or 2 things you can do a turn. that's kinda
Definitely,
it.
yeah, definitely the people with multiple attacks, they'll love that.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
So, Blue, some ideas for your whole natural 1 is that you can actually make it that they put themselves at a area where they can get it, like the opponent gets advantage on the next attack roll if you wanted.
Yeah.
There's also the part where when they do it, they quickly like get a cramp in their leg or something like that causes them to miss, which means that, you know, if you wanted to, they could have half movement. But that's like really punishing on all that type of stuff.
Again, we'll use things like charts, bro. Make a chart.
Ooh.
Make it, you know, and then roll a d10 and this next nat one after that you get -5 to your speed. The next one you get advantage against you for the next attack.
Google critical fail charts. There are a lot of them online, and a lot of them are pretty balanced in the way they work. I don't like to do that.
If you want to be an asshole, you can make it that the other guy defended so well he disarmed you.
You can. I think he said that in terms of dropping a weapon. It's the same sort of concept.
Fuck it, roll madness table. Alright.
But one thing is, all I'm going to say is that rolling a natural one is pretty bad as well, because it doesn't mean if the attack had a high enough plus to hit, it still means it missed. It's a critical fail. But even in combat, natural ones are not actually... Oh no, in combat they are. And natural 20s are mainly it is critical hit, you always hit, and critical fail, you always miss. And then skill checks are never natural 20 and critical fail.
Yeah, that's something we do differently to a lot of the things that you see on TikTok and like, you know.
Well,
I want to investigate the room, natural 20. Oh, let me just give you the whole war duff of this entire campaign.
Yeah, no,
we don't do that.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I more or less just give you the best of what I believe your knowledge could be of it.
Yeah.
But it's the same reasoning of if you're a fighter and you roll a natural 20 on this certain spell, I'm not going to use the spell name and stuff. I'll say that maybe in your passing you've seen a spell very similar and you've seen kind of the same effects. Put it to how you use. But if a mage was to roll an Arcana check and natural 20, I would give him the name of the like enchantment or spell.
That sounds fun.
They are the caster.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Make it make sense.
Was there another question?
That's it. Make it make sense. Is there another question?
Mm.
No, he said, you said doo-doo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Cool.
So, we're very excited to come back.
It's been a while, guys. It's been a while.
We've been actually doing this type of stuff for a long time now. We've still been playing D&D the whole time. We just haven't been.
We took a break for this one ago. No, wait, we didn't. You took a break to go on your honeymoon.
I did. Yeah, I've been away for it.
Oh, you took a break as well.
When did I take a break?
You took like almost a 2-month break.
Oh, I was having a moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 months on.
But the thing is that we've been playing D&D the whole time, and we are very excited to come back. We came up with the decision we've run through a lot of things. Originally, at one point, it was going to be just one big group of 8 players. And now,
oh my god, could you imagine how long combat would take?
if it's done efficiently, not too long.
Well, if you know what you're doing, it'd be pretty quick.
Yeah.
So with us 8, you reckon?
With us 7, and then you.
But now it's been split into groups of 5, maybe one group of 6 and one group of 5.
Yeah.
Because we're just still understanding if one of the players is actually going to continue to play.
Yep.
Or not.
Awesome.
But yeah. So
Look, yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, ready to set all this up. As you'll see, there will be stuff on TikTok, there will be stuff on YouTube, there will be stuff on Twitch. Just check out everything, you know what I mean? Follow us on all the different socials. We do have the Discord group, we'll start posting in there again. We can do the funny memes of the week, that sort of stuff, based on the campaigns. I've got a feeling all of those will come from Friday. That's okay, not a problem. But
well, I don't know. Evan creates some moments, and so does Kat.
yeah,
And so does Maddie, actually.
okay.
Because Maddie doesn't understand when to not talk.
I'm not talking negative about my players, man. I'm excited to play with everyone in this campaign.
That's
So
good.
it's gonna be great.
That's good. I'm very, very excited for you.
No, it's gonna be fun.
I'm
looking
excited
forward
for Jordan specifically.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I released a TikTok and a YouTube short of Jordan's just face of dealing with the entire Wednesday group at their finest. From episode
I saw
27.
that video and I heard my own voice take up a lot of
You hear Arthur and Rob's as well.
Was that at the
Oh,
beginning?
man.
There was a bit at the beginning and a bit in the middle and a bit at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was when Jordan was finding out about your character's truth when you're on the ship.
Mm.
That was it.
No, my favorite
You
was
definitely did some highlights on that boat. I watched that entire episode to make those clips.
my favorite one was I've been asleep for 8 hours, and that was the best plan you came up with.
No, you watched me sleep for 8
Yeah.
hours, and that's the best plan you came up with.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There was one where Arthur and Rob are just doing their things, and you just see Jordan's like eyes like squinting, like
Yeah.
just thinking very hard. And then that's when he also called your brother a cunt, which was quite funny.
I called my brother. Yeah.
No. Your no, yeah, his brother. a cunt.
And then we realized we could say those words on.
But then it turns out you can.
Yeah, so that was fun. Not on YouTube though.
No, that's
We're gonna have to fix a lot of that.
I'm actually testing that because I released that short on YouTube. To
Right.
I think how it goes
Okay.
if it gets like put down for
Yeah.
or if it gets age restricted.
Yeah.
Then we'll see.
Well,
how
to
it
be
goes.
fair, on the channel we are for adults, right?
we are. But then
So-
the difference, even when you go not recommended for 18, only recommended for 18 years and older, they can still click while watching it.
Yeah.
But if it's age restricted, it physically won't let them watch the video.
Yeah.
So there's like a warning, and then you click it, and it's fine. But then if there's age restriction, they can't even click it. Their account isn't 18.
Bro, realistically, what kid is not saying yes, I'm 18 on YouTube, man? Like, but no, I get it.
I always said 19. I thought the number was cooler. Different.
Thanks for watching tonight, guys. I really appreciate everyone coming today. It feels great to be back. Again, are they doing the Friday session technical difficulties this week?
Yes, correct. The podcasts are back, but this time it's a bit different, as you saw, Jacob, at the very start. There are 2 podcasts now. We have the Technical Difficulties podcast, which is where we talk about the game and the mechanics and everything it is, and stay on topic with what we're talking about.
Unless Blue asks us some main questions.
Yeah.
We can go off topic for those.
If anyone asks questions, we're still here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, trimming pulling muscle, yeah, that's fine, dude. Just run with that with that one. It works.
But yes, so we will be going and doing 2 podcasts a week, 2 D&D a week, and be releasing more videos. But don't expect the videos to be weekly, just because one thing I've understood while doing all this is I too also have a life that I need to live.
Of
that
course,
can't
of
just
course.
be all this.
Keep in mind, guys, the podcast will be starting about 15-20 minutes directly after we finish streaming for the campaigns.
So
So
you host Wednesdays,
he hosts
I
Wednesdays.
do, yes.
And Jacob hosts Fridays.
and then you guys have your technical.
It is
difficulty.
technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Oh, so you and Jacob still have your one?
No, I'm not on it. I'll be on it in a sense, but I'm not the guest unless I have to be the guest. But yeah, it's just anyone really.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can come every week if you want, Kat.
You'd love that, right?
Stay on topic. Yeah, I love it.
Stay on top.
But yeah, no, look, guys, it's gonna be fun. Just make sure if you are watching the campaigns live, stay a little bit after. We'll be, go grab a drink, keep the stream rolling, and then we'll have our podcasts after. We'll talk about the gameplay, the experiences, how we felt, what we think will happen later moving forward, that sort of stuff. But guys, thank you so much for coming today and checking it all out. We do have everything on our social medias. Check out the TikToks, check out the YouTubes, check out Twitch videos, Twitch clips from before. Man, I don't know who's streaming these days for all the different people. We'll make all that stuff up as we go along. We'll find a routine. But we'll see you guys on Friday. That's when they're going to go off topic properly. Enjoy it. Have fun. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I won't be here next week. Blake will be taking over. But then we'll be back fresh the week after to start the campaign and back in with the technical difficulties.
Yeah. So we're gonna raid somebody now. We're gonna raid a smaller channel.
Awesome. That's what we like to do in this channel as well. Try and spread the love to people that haven't seen. Getting a lot of views prior as well. So
We're gonna get someone that's in English. And
fingers crossed. But thank you guys, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
No worries. I'll see you another time for sure.
You find one?
Never mind, I've got to log in and do all this other stuff I haven't done in months. So we'll do it next time. If you have someone to raid, please
Let us know.
in the link and stuff.
Let us know. Let us know like while we're streaming as well, because we can sort of save those names in those channels. And if they're still live when we're wrapping it up, we've got people that we can refer to while we're going. I'm trying to keep it D&D related, obviously. But yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. Take it easy.